The chair recognizes the Honorable Representative Alberta Tinsley Talabi.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I want to first begin by thanking my Heavenly Father for the time He's allowed me to serve as a member of the 110th Michigan Legislature, representing the 2nd District. Also, I must thank Him for the 3 years I served as a Wayne County Commissioner and 16 years of service on the Detroit City Council. I would like to believe in each position I did something to make life better for those I was honored to represent. When I arrived here 6 years ago, I didn't know many of you, and now 6 years later, not much has changed. It has been somewhat of a tumultuous time for me, as many in this chamber decided early on to be guided by news stories that never really panned out. So much for judge ye not. Nonetheless, I've often wondered how many times we've missed opportunities to truly move our state forward and opportunities to unite and not divide. Undoubtedly, time will tell the true story of this current legislature. My husband, Chief Bamadeli Ade Talabi, is my prayer partner and best friend. He is quick to tell me a tree does not make a forest, and therefore I want to honor and thank my late parents, Willie George and Mary Louise Tinsley, for their love and belief in all 8 of their children. My father worked 8 days a week at his Gulf gas station on Hazelwood and 3rd, leaving before we awakened in the morning and coming home after we went to bed, while my mother raised the 8 of us. I'm reminded, however, of a story my mother shared about she and her 3 sisters walking down East Jefferson and applying for jobs while they were young. None of them were hired. Yet I've read similar stories of white females walking in a group, and all were hired on the same day. I want to thank my late siblings, Mary Ruth, William, and Stanley, and my remaining siblings, Vivian, former State Representative Artina Tinsley Hartman, my brother Lonnie, and my sister Daisy. We were raised as a strong bond, and we remain committed to one another today. To my wonderful, beautiful, smart, articulate, phenomenal daughter, Carla Louise, and my gifted son-in-law, Richard Todd Smith, thank you for choosing Detroit as home. In fact, when they first married, they lived next door to me. Now they've moved 1 block away. Soon many of us will return to our districts. Some of us will be counting the number of cows, sheep, and chickens, while others will awaken to human body counts of persons deceased from violence. Life isn't always fair. Some of us will return to school districts where children have ample books, certified teachers, and classroom chairs, while others have districts short on books, short on chairs, and teachers who are not fully certified. As legislators, were we sent to build bridges or walls? I'd like to think bridge builders are much more valuable than constructing a wall. To my Detroit colleagues, the tasks we are sent here to do are hampered in many ways and limited by partisan politics. Having served in local government as both a county commissioner for 3 years and council member for 16 years, I soon realized the added challenge of being in the minority. Not any fun. Nonetheless, we respond as best we can by always responding to the concerns of our respective constituents. But let me begin with you, Brian Banks. You are the most generous and giving, classy, and defiant person I've ever met. You fill any room the moment you walk into it. You know and understand this legislative job, and you are an asset to any organization you're affiliated with. Sherry Dan No Go, you are quick to tell people that you started off in my office when I was on city council, but everyone you tell that to knows you are a fireball and they hardly believe you. You have shown you are willing to go to the wall and enter battle on behalf of Detroit public school students in particular, but all children really. You won't fall down, you won't compromise, you won't be bossed, and your strength lies in your relentless determination and hope. Representative Tanya Garrett, you persevere. I pity anyone who takes your petite stature as anything other than strength. Stephanie Chang, your presence here is evidence that Detroit voters are fair and seek a leader who will serve them through dedicated service. Representative Byrd, what time is it? Your background in taxation and your steady hand as you serve is evidence to me that the nuclear code would be safe in your hands. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Anyone seeking a co-pilot, a backup, or just the good old KA, some knows what that means, you're the woman for the job. You truly exemplify age ain't nothing but a number. Fred Durhall, you may be your father's son, but you've proven you are a steady hand and you are your own man. You represent your district well, and boy, what a future you have ahead of you. Harvey Santana, there's no question the depths you will go to serve your community. Miss LL, not Cool J, but Leslie Love, you carry your heart on your sleeve. You are passionate and whimsical, but more than anything, you want to do your best for those you represent, and from all accounts, you are doing just that. I salute the members of the Detroit delegation. David Rutledge, you are both a gentleman and a scholar. You're just wonderful. I'm honored to have shared the time we've had together. Democratic leader Grimo, you are a class act and so very, very talented. I'll go to the wall with you, brother. There are many challenges we face as a state. All of us know the saying, all politics are local, so keep your ear to the ground. I spent a large portion of my life addressing the issue of substance abuse. For over 30 years, I've witnessed the ravaging nature of drugs, including alcohol, destroy individual dreams, desires, and hopes, harm families and communities. But I stand here to tell you, an addict is an addict. It is a total loss of self-control. Addiction is an equal opportunity destroyer. Regardless of your age, your race, it offers an open-door policy as an equal opportunity cesspool of regret. Financial status doesn't matter. No income is too low or no income too high. We see the conversation changing today as faces of the horror of substance abuse throughout the nation has changed to include affluent suburbs as many become addicted to opiate use. Suddenly, it's not the man on the corner in my neighborhood. We are witnessing a conversation that is suddenly softer and caring and providing resources. I will state again, an addict is an addict, and all addicts need help. Like everyone here, I too owe a debt of gratitude to the wonderful men and women who wear the red coats. Thank you, Sergeant David Dixon. And while each of you do a fine job, I want to acknowledge Sergeant Randy Kendall, who was the first one that I met upon coming here to the House. Alice, as everyone says, thank you, thank you, thank you. And former Representative Cindy Denby, I enjoyed spending an entire Saturday with you at Detroit's Eastern Market. Roy Jones, you have been with me from day one. You are my brother and my friend, and I sincerely thank you for being there for the district and all of Detroit and Michigan. And I want to thank all of the interns over the years who served in my office. There's a serious issue of flooding throughout District 2. It must be addressed. Flint must remain on our radar screens, first because we must make the children of Flint and all residents whole, and we must have a Flint better than before. And secondly, because what happened in Flint must never, ever occur again. On the issue of driver's responsibility, I hope we can find a way to clean up the records of over 1 million Michiganders who find themselves under the auspices of driver's responsibility, fees and fines, and more fees and fines. It was wrong when first instituted, and it remains wrong today. Even though it is being phased out, relief cannot come soon enough. Let me give a shout out to former Representatives Maureen Stapleton and Lisa Howes and Tommy Stallworth. They arrived with us 6 years ago and proved themselves to be exceptional legislators. Allow me to paraphrase Matthew 25:31 through 46. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me in. I was naked and you clothed me. And I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. And we all know the conclusion. As it says, and the king will answer, truly I say unto you, when you've done this unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. This year, like every year, representatives will be leaving. Let me say, perhaps some of us delight in having our names called here on the House floor. And let me assure you there is a much, much higher place, not here on earth. Let us prepare daily for that higher calling. This year, my friends, marks the 50th anniversary of Kwanzaa. And because it is an important part of my life, I will conclude my remarks with each principle. Umoja, unity. Kujichagulia, self-determination. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Ujama, cooperative economics. Nia, purpose. Kaumba, creativity. And the most important principle of all, Imani, faith. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Talabi.